Have you ever reached a point in your life where it feels like everything is against you? You wake up tired. You go to bed exhausted. And somewhere in between, you keep asking yourself the same silent question. Why does it feel like me versus the world? You try to stay strong. You try to stay positive. But deep down, you feel lonely, disconnected, crushed by things that seem bigger than you. Let me tell you something most people never realize. Life is not against you, and the universe is not your enemy, but your mind might be. Most human suffering does not come from what happens to us. It comes from the story we tell ourselves about what happens to us. We turn life into a battlefield. We turn challenges into personal attacks. We turn setbacks into proof that we're not good enough. And slowly, without noticing, we create a psychological war. Me versus life. Me versus the universe. Me versus reality. And that is a battle you will never win. Here's the truth no one tells you. The universe is not competing with you. Life is not trying to crush you. Reality is not trying to humiliate you. But when your mind believes it is under attack, even small things feel unbearable. A failed exam feels like the end of your future. Losing a job feels like losing your worth. A breakup feels like proof that you're unlovable. But between life and death, these are small events. Painful, yes, but not permanent, not defining, not who you are. You came into this world with nothing, and one day you will leave with nothing. Yet most people walk through life as if they are carrying the weight of the entire universe on their shoulders. Regret from 10 years ago. Fear about 10 years from now. Expectations that don't belong to them. Pressure they never agreed to carry. And then they say, life is too heavy. No, your mind is overloaded. Think about this for a moment. Even on your worst day, are you still breathing? Yes, that means life is still working with you. The air hasn't rejected you. The ground hasn't refused to hold you. The sun still rises for you. Water still quenches your thirst. Food still gives you energy. Your existence is constantly interacting with the universe. But your mind tells a different story. It says, I'm alone. I'm fighting everything. I don't belong. That story is not reality. It's a mental habit. Most people don't suffer life. They suffer their thoughts and emotions. They replay the past again and again. They suffer things that already happened. They imagine the future again and again. They suffer things that haven't happened yet. Ask yourself honestly, are you suffering what is happening right now? Or are you suffering what you remember and imagine? Because memory and imagination are powerful tools. They are what make humans creative, intelligent, visionary. But when you don't know how to handle them, they become weapons turned against you. This is the uncomfortable truth. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not failing at life. You are simply operating a powerful machine without knowing how it works. And that machine is your mind. Imagine someone given a high-performance engine but never taught how to control it. They press the accelerator randomly. They panic when it speeds up. They crash. Not because the engine is bad, but because they never learned how to drive. That's what happens with thought and emotion. We are taught how to work, how to compete, how to survive. But almost no one teaches us how to handle our inner world. So when life applies pressure, we collapse from the inside. Not because the pressure is too much, but because there is no inner stability. And here is something that might shock you. Most people take themselves far too seriously. They think every mistake defines them, every failure exposes them, every setback ruins everything. But in the larger picture of existence, we are temporary, brief, passing. You are not the center of the universe. And that is not an insult. That is freedom. Freedom from perfection. Freedom from constant self-judgment. Freedom from carrying unnecessary weight. When you realize how small you are in the vastness of life, something powerful happens. You stop fighting reality. You stop resisting what is. You stop asking, why me? And you start asking, what now? That question changes everything. Hardships do not come to destroy you. They come to teach you how to relate to life properly. They show you where your mind is fragile, where your identity is attached, where your emotions control you. And once you see that, you gain the power to change it. This is where overcoming hardship truly begins. Not outside, not by fixing the world, not by waiting for life to be easier, but by learning this one thing. You are not the problem, your untrained mind is. And that means there is nothing wrong with you. There is only something to learn. In the next part, we'll talk about how to take your power back when life knocks you down, and how to stand strong without hardening your heart. Let's be clear about one thing. Hardship will come. Pain will come. Loss will come. No one escapes it. The question is not if life will knock you down. The question is what you do after you hit the ground. Because here's the truth. Life doesn't break people. People break themselves by how they respond to life. Most people react. They explode. They shut down. They blame. They numb themselves. They give their power away to circumstances. They let one moment define their entire identity. One failure becomes, I'm a failure. One rejection becomes, I'm not enough. One bad chapter becomes, my life is ruined. And without realizing it, they hand over control. But strong people do something different. They pause. They don't deny the pain. They don't pretend it doesn't hurt. They don't suppress emotions. They simply refuse to let emotions drive the steering wheel. Because emotions are powerful, but they are not intelligent. They are signals, not commands. Here's something most people don't understand. You don't become strong by avoiding pain. You become strong by learning how to stay present inside it. Pain is not the enemy. Panic is. Fear is not the enemy. Identification with fear is. Sadness is not the enemy. Believing that sadness is who you are is. The moment you say, this pain is happening to me, but it is not me, you create space. And in that space, you regain control. Think about this. Two people can go through the exact same hardship, same loss, same failure, same rejection. One collapses, the other rises. Why? Not because one is lucky, not because one is special, because one responds consciously and the other reacts unconsciously. Hardships don't test your strength. They test your self-awareness. They reveal how much of your life is run by unconscious patterns, anger, self-pity, victimhood, escapism. And once you see those patterns, you have a choice. Most people want life to change first so they can feel better, but that's backward. You must change how you relate to life, not wait for life to change for you. Because life does not negotiate, life responds. When you stop fighting reality, you stop wasting energy. When you accept what is, without surrendering your standards, you become dangerous in the best way. Calm, grounded, unshakable. Here's where real power comes from. Responsibility, not blame, not guilt, not shame. Responsibility means this: I may not control what happened, but I control what I do next. That sentence alone can pull someone out of darkness. Hard times are not asking you to be positive. They are asking you to be present, to see clearly, to stop dramatizing, to stop turning pain into identity. You are not your worst moment. You are not your lowest point. You are not the voice in your head at 3 a.m. You are the one listening to that voice.
And the listener always has power. This is why some people become bitter, while others become wise. Bitterness comes from resistance. Wisdom comes from understanding. The bitter person says, this shouldn't have happened. The wise person says, it happened. What now? Life does not reward comfort, it rewards adaptation. It rewards those who can stay flexible under pressure, like water.
Water doesn't argue with obstacles. It doesn't complain. It doesn't quit. It adjusts. It flows around. It keeps moving. And over time, it shapes stone. Hardship is shaping you. The question is, are you letting it sharpen you or harden you? Because those are not the same. A hardened heart closes. A sharpened mind focuses. A hardened soul resents. A sharpened soul understands. There is a quiet confidence that comes from surviving hard times correctly. Not loudly, not aggressively, but calmly. It's the confidence of someone who knows, I've been here before and I didn't break. That confidence cannot be faked and it cannot be taken. They say, if life feels heavy right now, it's not because you're weak, it's because you're being asked to grow into a stronger container. Pressure doesn't crush prepared minds, it reveals them. So the next time life hits you hard, remember this: pause, breathe, observe. Don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this demanding from me? More discipline, more patience, more courage, more honesty? The answer is always there. In the next part, we'll talk about how to move forward even when motivation is gone, how to take action in darkness, and how small steps rebuild a broken life. There will be moments in life when motivation disappears. No fire, no excitement, no belief, just silence, just exhaustion, just the weight of everything you've been carrying. And this is where most people quit. Not because they can't go on, but because they believe they need to feel strong to move forward. They don't. Here's the truth. Motivation is not required. Action is. You don't move because you feel ready. You move because staying still is costing you your life. One step taken in pain is more powerful than waiting endlessly for inspiration. Hard times don't ask you to be confident. They ask you to be committed. Committed to doing the next right thing. Even when it feels meaningless, wake up, make your bed, show up, do the work, go to sleep, repeat. That's not weakness. That's discipline being born. People underestimate the power of small actions because they're addicted to big moments. But lives are not rebuilt in breakthroughs. They are rebuilt in boring, consistent effort. One decision at a time, one habit at a time, one day at a time. This is how strength returns quietly. There is a phase in transformation where no one sees your progress. You feel invisible, unnoticed, forgotten, and that's exactly where character is formed. Because when no one is watching, you discover who you really are. Not who you perform as, not who you claim to be, but who you choose to be in silence. Hardship strips away illusion. It removes false identities, false confidence, false priorities. What remains is truth. And truth is uncomfortable, but it is clean. From that place, you can rebuild properly. You don't go back to who you were. You don't chase your old self. You become someone new, someone calmer, someone more aware, someone harder to break, not emotionally numb, but emotionally grounded. At some point, you'll realize something powerful. The pain didn't ruin you, it reorganized you. It forced you to let go of what was never meant to stay. It pushed you into maturity, into responsibility, into depth, and that depth becomes your advantage. Most people want an easy life, but easy lives create fragile people. Hard lives, lived correctly, create people with presence. People who don't panic. People who don't chase validation. People who don't collapse when things go wrong. People who know how to stand alone without feeling lonely. One day, you'll look back at the version of you that almost gave up, and you'll feel gratitude. Not because it was easy, but because you stayed. You didn't escape. You didn't numb yourself. You didn't quit. You learned how to carry yourself through fire. This is the quiet victory no one applauds, but it changes everything. So if you're listening to this right now and life feels heavy, if you feel behind, lost, disconnected, remember this: you are not broken. You are being forged. You don't overcome hardship by becoming someone else. You overcome hardship by becoming more of who you truly are. Less reactive, less fearful, less attached, more present, more disciplined, more real. But stand up again, not dramatically, not loudly, just stand. Take the next step, then the next. And keep moving forward, even if your voice shakes. Because the strongest people are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who refuse to stay down. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where everything begins to change.